Hello and welcome back to your English 5 a day on the Elan podcast. This is a short daily podcast for intermediate to advanced learners who want to build natural English vocabulary through stories and real life English. My promise to you is that this voice will always be human generated. I'm Anna, and this is week 1, day 2 of our story following Gabriel as he prepares for his big journey to the UK. Yesterday, he wrote about his dreams and desires for the trip. Today, he's meeting his British language partner Sophie and practicing some of the idioms he's recently learnt. So listen carefully and take notes if you like, because today you're going to hear 5 British idioms that will help you to sound like a local. Supporting materials for this lesson are available at www.joinelan.com/plus, P-L-U-S. Now, before we begin, let me give you a quick snapshot. At a quiet table in a Moxa cafe, Gabriel practices the idioms he's been learning with his language partner Sophie. He jokes that football is not his cup of tea, admits some stereotypes should be taken with a pinch of salt, and laughs as Sophie explains how unexpected problems can throw a spanner in the works. She reminds him that once he books his ticket and packs his bag, Bob's your uncle. By the end of their chat, Gabriel feels over the moon about how much more confident he is becoming. All right, it's time for today's vocabulary breakdown. It's not my cup of tea. This is a polite idiom to say that you don't particularly like something. For example, horror films, not my cup of tea. To throw a spanner in the works. This is to cause a problem that disrupts a plan. For example, the train strike really threw a spanner in the works. Next, we have to take something with a pinch of salt. This means to not take something too seriously or literally. You must take it with a pinch of salt. For example, he exaggerates a lot. Take his stories with a pinch of salt. Next, we have the idiom Bob's your uncle. Bob's, B-O-B apostrophe S. Bob's your uncle. This is a fun and informal way of saying, that's it, or it's easy. Bob's your uncle. For example, turn right, then left, and Bob's your uncle. Last, we have the idiom over the moon. This means to be delighted or extremely happy about something. For example, she was over the moon with her exam results. Right, listen closely and see if you can spot today's expressions during story time. Today, we're looking back at Gabriel's UK preparations. He's sitting at a table at a specialty coffee shop called Moxa with his British language partner Sophie, who is studying a master's degree in culinary arts at the Institute Life in Lyon. They call each other by their nicknames, So and Gabe. Gabriel has recently completed crash courses in British slang and idioms, and he wants to try out some of what he has learnt with Sophie over a café glacé. So, Gabe, how's the blog coming along?
Not bad, so, but can I practice some idioms with you?
Go on then.
If someone asks me if I like football, I can say it's not my cup of tea.
Exactly. If you aren't particularly interested in something, you can say that. It's better than just saying no. And another one?
When people say that the French eat frogs' legs, I must tell them to take it with a pinch of salt.
Very good, Gabe. They mustn't believe it completely, even if it's partially true.
Yes, although some people do season their frogs' legs with salt and pepper.
A sense of humour will be important in the UK, especially in Liverpool. Listen, if something goes wrong unexpectedly, British people might say it throws a spanner in the works.
A spanner?
Cli anglais.
So. I always thought it was called an English key.
No, Gabe, that's just a literal translation. I bet you don't ever say Bob's your uncle in French either.
My uncles are not called Bob, but one is called Robert.
What a coincidence. But we say Bob's your uncle to make a situation sound easy, like for your trip. Book your tickets, pack your bags, and Bob's your uncle.
Yes, I remember my grandmother saying this sometimes. So, I am over the moon about your help.
And over the moon about going to Britain too, I'm sure.
Yes, knowing idioms like these will help me to understand and also seem more confident if I can use them.
You're good to go. Now, can we switch to French?
Oui, un autre café glacé s'il te plaît.
It's time for a quick recap. Please repeat today's 5 expressions out loud after me. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. Throw a spanner in the works. Throw a spanner in the works. Take it with a pinch of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt. Bob's your uncle. Bob's your uncle. Over the moon. Over the moon. Excellent. Now, are you ready for tomorrow's teaser? Tomorrow, Gabriel turns his attention to practical matters, booking accommodation in Liverpool. And he discovers just how useful certain phrases can be when talking to a chatbot. That's all from me today. Please hit the like button and give this podcast 5 stars, if you're enjoying it, of course. And if you'd like to take your English learning further, then consider becoming a Podcast Plus member. Just head over to joinelan.com/plus. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.